Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm Clara back, and today I'm going to be reviewing Sleeping Gods by Ryan Lockett and Red Raven Games. So this is an absolute epic co-op storytelling game. I love Red Raven Games already, but this is a co-op game, and I've played about 25 hours, which is one campaign with my housemate, and this will be spoiler free. I'm not going to go into spoilers at all, so don't worry about that. This is literally just a review, and let me tell you what I think about it. Okay, so like I say, I'm going to go spoiler free, but there's no surprise that you'll end up playing a campaign. So you've got a storybook with a map book, and you're going around this map, exploring different locations, reading what's going on there, and interacting with the people in those locations. So me and my best friend, we've played through one entire campaign, and like I say, that took about 25 hours. And unlike other campaign games, it's not split up into chapters, it's just one long campaign, so you just stop partway through. Now, for reference, I really love Red Raven Games, the ones that I've played, Above and Below and Near and Far. So I've played those games a heck of a lot, and I really enjoy them. And the only thing that I ever felt was missing was I wanted a co-op experience from Red Raven Games. And so when this came out, it's like, fantastic. I just wasn't expecting it to be such an epic and long experience, but you've got that cooperative game. Now, I'm really lucky that I was able to put it out. Me and my housemate were playing together. We just put it out. I've got a big coffee table because it's a table hug, and we just left it up until we finished playing the campaign. And did I like it? Well, basically, we were ready to just go straight into the second campaign. Absolutely straight into the second campaign. But we decided to wait and play some other games first. And I'm talking about campaign 1, campaign 2. Is there any difference? No. So when I'm saying campaign 2, what I mean is my second campaign, not campaign 2. Because every time you have the same sandbox options. Do we go this way or this way? You've got the map book, and the world is literally your oyster. And so last time we decided to go one way, and then we went south and then north a bit and stuff like that, trying to find stuff and just exploring. And it's just all about the story, to be honest. You kind of got this end game thing going on, but most of the game is just exploring. So now we know that next time we're going to go in the opposite direction. I will say that there's 2 expansions for this, and I've just ordered one of them's a smaller one called Dungeons, and I've just ordered that, so I'm hoping to pick that up next week. But yeah, I can't wait to get into the second campaign of this, second campaign. So in terms of how you play, it's a cooperative game, and between you split up the crew. So you've got so many characters, but instead of games like Pandemic where you choose, it's just you've got all the characters and you split them up between you, and then you share the captain. And I'd say that the way that you do challenges is, it's got a little bit of luck and a little bit of preparation. It's got a bit of both. And so I think if you've played Above and Below and Near and Far, whilst it is slightly different and a different mechanic, it'll seem really familiar. It'll seem very familiar. And so a lot of people are saying that, some of the challenges are super hard. If you go to one place, it just happens to be a really high challenge. But you can mitigate that by buffing and, by getting items. In terms of the fights, again, it's luck whether you come into a hard fight or an easy fight, because it just depends where you've gone in the map. Everything is open. But again, people are talking about how hard the fights are, but we thought that if you just prepared a little bit and you took the time to heal, then we didn't think that it was too bad. We thought that that was all right, it was manageable. Now, the payoff of that is if you go back and you heal, you're spending time, you're spending resources, which means that you've got less time for the total campaign because you're spending your time to go through it. But it means that you're more prepared when you do fight stuff, and you're less likely to not survive, right? So it's a payoff, and we're quite happy to go out and do all the exploration stuff, but do it carefully, and then just come back and play a second game. Do they tie in? Well, overall, you've got a list of totems that are scattered throughout the book, and so you mark them off. And so the idea is that, overall, you're trying to find all the totems. but you don't, necessarily get them from game to game. It's not like there's any particular bonus or build. It's just that, like, hey, I've got all of these now. It's the equivalent of, getting 100% completion on Grand Theft Auto. You don't actually get anything for it apart from the little trophy, but you've done it, right? You've already finished the main mission. You can do that separately. So it's up to you whether you complete it, but we're completionists. The story aspect is great. The writing is brilliant. It's really good fun. You're never quite sure what you're going to get. Me and my housemate play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. And so, we really, really enjoyed the storytelling aspect. And it's great because you don't need the dungeon master. And it is truly sandbox. So is this my favorite epic storytelling quest adventure game? No, it isn't. So I like the mechanisms for the fighting and for skills and challenges and stuff, but it did feel like a little bit of a grind when you needed to heal. And that felt a little bit frustrating, if I'm perfectly honest. It would have been nice to have other options. And because it is one full epic, long game, you don't have that sort of respite. You just get to this point and then it resets or anything. So there's that to consider. How the challenges go, it's fairly simple, to be honest. There's a few little weird rules, but it's fairly simple to play, and it's nice to play. I'm not completely sure that it wasn't slightly better with say above and below, though. Maybe I'm not sure how I feel in terms of compared to other big huge adventure games. So this would probably slot in at my number 3. So Mage Knight is just a massive, amazing game that I absolutely love, and that's my number 1 and has been for a long time. But I'd also say that Legends of Andor, which I've picked up and carried on playing again recently, is also really good fun. And that's got the bonus of being short, snappy, so you can play an hour and a half and you've completed a mission and you put it away. Whereas with Sleeping Gods, there's not that stop point. You just carry on going. So, yeah, it's not my favorite, but it is my number 3. And I play a lot of these games. Like I say, I play Dungeons and Dragons, and so I really appreciate what this is doing. And it does feel like a storytelling epic RPG in a box. Like I say, I've already picked up one of the expansions, the dungeons. I'm just waiting for it to come. Tides of Ruin isn't back in stock yet, but I will get it as soon as it is. That adds sections of the map that you can go and explore and more story. So that's awesome. More story is great. I love this game. I would still love for Red Raven Games to release a short, choppier, hour and a half cooperative storytelling game. That's probably would be my ultimate Red Raven game, but we don't have that at the moment. We either have shorter versus games with above and below and near and far, or you've got the absolutely epic Sleeping Gods. But this will stay in my collection. It's a game that I can imagine just getting out every so often and just playing a whole adventure. It's just wonderful. I'm really enjoying this. And the artwork is just gorgeous. The Red Raven Games, Ryan Lockett's artwork is just so beautiful. I love the world he's built. It's great. So yeah, highly recommend Sleeping Gods. Big game, epic game, not cheap, but not the most expensive for this type of game and the amount you get in the box. Takes a lot of table space, but wow, you'll get your money's worth. So I'm Clara Barker. Thanks so much for listening, and until next time, take care and bye!